Not by much, but just got to break the plane. Just got to break the plane. Just before we get started here, I just want to say Happy Veterans Day to all the vets out there. You know, we really appreciate all the current and former vets have done for us. I'd also like to say thanks to Captain Gilkison. Sent me a nice letter. Saw it on the internet today, and that was one of the most heartwarming things that I've ever gotten. And I'd also like to say thanks to both of my grandparents, Jim Driskel and Jack Schaefer, as well as my dad, Jerry Driskel, for their 20-plus years of service. So, now we can take questions.
Jeff, about that over-the-top play, have you repped that before? Have you tried that before in practice?
I've never gone over the top. Watching, we tried to get in a few times, but they were pretty good down there. They were expecting a run up the middle, and it's pretty hard not to call a play up the middle when you're that close. So just wanted to try something different and give them a different look, and we got just enough push to get in.
What's been the adjustment for you the last few weeks?
It's been tough. I'm not going to say it hasn't been difficult, but at the end of the day, I'm still doing what I've always done. Been preparing to be ready to go in and make plays if my number gets called. So that's what I owe this team.
Was it fun to have a role this past week?
Yeah, anytime you can contribute to the team and to a good team win, it's a good feeling.
They got a name for that package, Driskel Cat, anything like that?
No, nothing like that. Nothing like that. It kind of just, I knew when it was short yardage stuff, have my helmet ready. So, anytime I'm going to be called on, I'll be ready.
Yeah, Kurt was talking about building kind of what he had with Brandon Connett at Duke. How much has he showed you of that or talked about that?
We've seen a lot of that film, and he was a really good player, made a lot of good plays for Duke, and I'm not sure what our plan going forward is, but like I said, I'm just going to do whatever I can to be able to help and be able to play well if my number's called.
Were you healthy enough to play against Georgia, or was the back still kind of biting at you?
Yeah, well, it was still hurting. I think that I could have played if they wanted me to.
When did that start?
It actually happened against LSU. After the game, I felt something, and the next morning I woke up and it wasn't feeling good at all. So it was definitely the LSU game. I don't know what play it was. Took a lot of shots that game. Ran the ball 21 times. So it's hard to really pinpoint when it happened.
You said you feel like this is what you owe to your team to be prepared. You still obviously feel a sense of responsibility to this team.
Well, I think everybody on the team should have the same sense of responsibility to the team. It's at the end of the day, it's a team sport, and everybody has to contribute and do their part. If mine's the backup and not getting any plays at all, I want to be ready in case Treon goes down. If it's being in a wildcat type role, I want to be ready and be able to run the ball and understand the blocking schemes, and understand the defense we're going to get. So I think that that's not just me that feels that type of responsibility. I think that's something that you have to have in a team sport.
How have you worked with Treon?